What's up guys, coming at you with another one of these videos, going to go over my bench progress today. If you didn't see the last video, I'm going to put that on the screen probably like here, and then you can go check that out, watch that first. That goes with my squat progress. This video is going to be going over my bench progress and what I've changed over the past couple months. Past couple months I guess. It's been about a full year now for powerlifting, so we're going to be going over that for y'all. So without further ado, not going to make this intro very long. Took it outside, out on the balcony. So like I said, without further ado, we're going to get into this video and I'm going to show you how my bench has progressed. Alright guys, so I got my notes right here. So the first part of this video that we are going to go over is we're going to compare my benches from the past increments of months. We're looking at different programs that I did. So one of the ones that, right off the bat, this one, the yellow shirt, was in my garage home gym. This is where I started 5x5 strong lifts. This was an 80-pound. These were all 5x5s, but this was, I think, the first one. This was when I first started. This was before I got injured doing that program. I kind of had a little back problem, kind of what I do now, but not as bad. But that was before I knew how to set up everything properly, you know, tuck shoulders, all that good stuff. So that changed. Next one was when I was doing 5-3-1 a couple of months ago. This was around Thanksgiving time last year. And it was, I was starting to figure out how to bench. I learned how to get my shoulders rolled. But my feet placement were off, my hands and wrists, I could never decide. I was changing that every week. I was never finding that consistent setup that we always talk about. If you watched the last video, I talked about the consistency is a big deal in powerlifting, and that was one of those things that I had trouble. Here we are. This was when I was doing meet prep. I believe this was 1 or 2 months in, because I think this was either a 4x4 or 3x3. And at this point you can tell I've kind of fixed my feet. They are now, my ankles are flat. We'll go talk about that in a little bit. But there's still some things wrong here, like my bar path could be a lot better. And my wrists are still in the extended position as more of a neutral position, which again we'll talk about. And then when you bring us to our present day, this was maybe a few days ago. I think this was Sunday. You're seeing this on Tuesday. So, and like I said, these are all 180 pounds, flat 80, 180, all of them. Sorry, snow's in the background. So yeah, get a nice comparison. And if you watch the speed on all of these, this is probably the most consistent, and these are also paused. So take all that into consideration. This is the culmination of 1 year of powerlifting, figuring it out. Still a lot I can learn, but this is what I've come to right now. Sorry about all this background noise. I'm outside. Just get outside, you know. You'll have a car passing every once in a while, but it's okay. But like I said, so saw the progress, see where I've come from, how I've progressed. Now we're going to get into the things that I've changed in specific, and we'll talk about those a little bit. And yeah, we'll just jump right into it right now. Since we're moving right along, we're going to go in our first topic, which is the touch and go first pause bench press. So for the longest time, I would always train touch and go for a powerlifting competition. It has its time and place, but I have found that I am transitioning better and my bench is increasing, and I know I'm not going to be surprised as much on the competition platform if 90% of all my reps are paused or some slight pause. That's what we're going to talk about, because in all those other videos up until now I've really never trained paused. I would only, like the last week, my openers, I would put the pause in and see where I was at. Now you can see I'm doing the pause in on all my reps, as you just saw, as opposed to doing all touch and go with the rhythm and still struggling. So you can see how that is very much affected, because in this next couple of clips you're going to see my platform benches. And I can tell you, when you get on the platform, that pause is a lot longer than you could have ever trained for. So at least if you have some sort of pause work, you're going to be prepared. And that's the whole thing, is you want to put it all on the platform. Like you see here, pause is crazy and fail the bench. So those are one of the things I've just learned that you want to do. You want to train paused if it's something that you really see as necessary. If it transitions very well, you don't need to. But like for myself, I know the pause took me by surprise, so now I'm taking the precaution and I'm training paused every rep. So therefore there are going to be no mistakes, and it is a true bench the whole time, and I know where my bench is at going into meet day. is kind of what I'm trying to say. So we're gonna move on to the next topic. And now guys, we're gonna be moving on to the next topic, which is my feet position. For the longest time, I had the toes up. That's how I started. For a while there, I didn't even really care about my feet, which was a big mistake, especially when you're powerlifting. You can see here, toes are definitely on the ground, but my heels are not, and that is causing you're unstable, and it is causing you to lose power because that takes most of your legs out of the equation. So it benefits me more to put my heels on the ground, like you can see in this picture. Also with the squat shoes, it helps a lot. It helps to put my heels on the ground and point my toes out. Therefore, I'm pushing out and everything is locked. Nothing is going to move during my bench. That is the main point of that. Nothing moves. You want to be in a stable position the whole time because when you move, you lose power. If you come on tight, you lose power. And we do power lift for a reason. So as long as you keep all that nice and tight, your legs planted, heels on the ground, you can also get that leg drive. As you saw, like you can see the heels, you can see my legs pushing back almost to the bar. It's almost like you're starting to lift with your legs. That way you generate as much power throughout your whole body as humanly possible to produce as much bench as possible. And this is hopefully what's gonna get me over that 225 pound barrier here in a couple weeks. But yes, that's my feet position, that's how it's changed. Now let's look at the next thing. Bar path, that is this next little topic. When I first started out, it was not the best bar path whatsoever. As you can see here, I'm going down to right here. After the arch and set is ever done, I'm touching right about here. That is the goal. That is producing the best bar path to where you can you kind of lock it in and you're bending the bar with your wrists like this, and so your shoulders and everything is nice and tight, and you bench back to you and you generate the most power like that. When I started out, I was touching probably right about here, bottom of the boot. This was good for, you know, bodybuilding, stuff like that, because it pushes the max stress, but it also takes your triceps out of the equation. The lower you can go, the more you can generate power through your chest and your triceps. You want to use as much as possible, like I said in the last clip. And it's really, on the side angle, it literally looks like you're coming like this, which is what we want. But with that said, bar path was something that was a big deal for me. It's kept me a lot safer because my shoulders now are in a better position and I can roll them back and it's nice and everything's locked in and I don't have to worry about getting injured as much. So, good thing. And moving forward. And we're gonna talk about the last thing, which is my wrist position. It's kind of hard to see in this video. It's gonna be nice and short, but you're gonna be talking about this one. But my wrist position was a big deal. As we all know, anatomical position. Wrist out like this, neutral. This is what you want. You want to bench with a straight wrist. Whenever you extend it, put your wrist in a vulnerable position, and it also causes you to lose power. So, my wrist position was a big deal. Also, when your wrists are in the neutral position like this, your triceps are a lot more involved. And think about it, if it's here, you can't really push through your triceps. If it's here, you can really push through. So that was one of the things that I had to adjust over the years. Really helped, because now I can feel like I'm using everything I can possibly do to put into that bench and get the most out of it. As when I first started, I was literally just all chest, hoping for the best. And it caused a lot more injuries to my pecs and a lot more tightness, and I had to stop benching a couple times, which is not what we want to do. We want to have steady progress throughout a lifetime instead of big jumps at high risk. I think that's all. I'm kind of out of breath. It's hot out here. But I went over all my notes, and so we are just going to wrap this up now. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from my mistakes, my errors, stuff like that. Hi, see ya. See yas. See yas right there. So let that car go by. So thank you, like I said, for watching, supporting, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Like I said, I'm gonna post the squat video here if you missed it. If you made it this far, and then go back and watch it. And then next week, we're going to be talking about my deadlift. the big lift everyone loves so much. I think we're done. I can't think of anything else to talk about. So with that said, guys, have a great day. Hope you learned something. Hope you can take something away from this. And yeah, catch you in the next video.